Think about it. Your company upgrades its software and hardware all the time, right? But what about the most important system you have? The human brain. Today, we're going to dive into a completely different way of thinking about corporate training, treating the minds like an operating system that is long overdue for a serious upgrade. So, what does that actually look like? Right off the bat, this slide just lays it all out there. On one side, you've got the reality for a lot of companies. Everything's driven by external pressure, there's friction between teams, and everyone's stuck in their own little silo, just using one part of their brain. But on the other side, that's the promise. An enhanced state that's all about internal drive, where everyone is in sync and where logic and creativity are finally working together. That's the goal. So you might be asking, why do we even need an upgrade? Well, it's because for decades, most corporate training has been like trying to install brand new software on a computer from the 90s. It just doesn't work. It focuses on all the wrong things and gets you temporary changes, not a real fundamental upgrade in what your team can do. And this quote hits the nail on the head. Elanggovan Thanggavilo, who invented the system we're talking about, points out that our whole education system trains us to use our logical left brain over and over again. And what's the result? Well, you can end up with employees who are amazing at following instructions, but they lack that creative spark. They start to perform like robots. Okay, this is a really important distinction here. Most training focuses on extrinsic stuff, the office layout, team building games, just throwing more information at people. But this mind operating system, which uses a method called T7SR, the 7 secrets rhythm, it does something totally different. It's intrinsic. It goes straight to the source and rewires the processor itself, your brain. All right, so let's pop the hood and take a look at the upgrade itself. We're talking about a whole new mind operating system, or MOS. And it's powered by this T7SR. And look, this isn't just some fringe theory. It is a structured, certified program. It's actually the world's first intrinsic brain training methodology. The creator is both a technologist and a psychologist, which is a cool combo, and he blended ancient wisdom with modern science to build it. It's designed to rewire not just how we think, but also how we handle all the digital tools we use every day. Okay, that all sounds really cool, but how does it actually work? Well, the secret sauce, the core idea, is all about changing the frequency that our brains operate on. It's about getting into a state they call alpha thinking. Just look at this visual. This explains so much. Most of us spend our entire workday in what's called a beta brainwave state. See that jagged, chaotic line? That's the state of stress, distraction, and mental friction. Yeah, that's probably your Tuesday afternoon. The goal of this training is to shift the brain into that smooth, flowing alpha state. That's where synergy happens, and your left and right brain finally start talking to each other. Now, this is so important. Alpha thinking isn't about zoning out or being half asleep. It's a state of being completely relaxed and highly alert at the very same time. Like a pro athlete who's in the zone. By getting the logical left brain and the creative right brain in sync, you just unlock a whole new level of performance. So how do you get there? Well, that's the best part. It's not some year-long commitment. It's through these 7 core techniques. And what's incredible is that each one is just a simple 1-minute exercise. You have techniques to literally boost your brain function, to reset old habits, to sharpen your focus, and of course, to hit that peak alpha thinking state. It's like having a toolkit to upgrade your own mind anytime you need it. All right, so how do you actually install this new OS? Well, it's not just a collection of random tips. It's a really structured 10-module framework. This pyramid here shows you the whole journey. It all starts at the bottom with the foundations. That's where you break old habits and learn the basics of how to activate your brain. Then you move up to cognitive expansion, building new skills like creativity and memory. And finally, at the top, corporate alignment. That's where you take all these new superpowers and point them directly at your company's goals. And get this, the whole installation process happens over just 3 days. Day 1 is like running the setup file, initializing the system. Day 2 is the big processing power upgrade. And day 3 is all about putting it to work, applying everything you've learned to real-world business problems. It's a full-on transformation. Okay, so the upgrade is installed, the system's running. Now for the big question. What can it do? What are the new features? Well, the results are broken down into what they call the 8 pillars of corporate impact. And we're not talking about fluffy, feel-good stuff here. We are talking about tangible, bottom-line business results. The impact goes from individual improvements, like peak performance, all the way to team-wide benefits, like a more synergistic culture and better KPI execution, which all leads to a serious edge in innovation. Let's drill down into some of these gains, because this is where it gets really fascinating. Of course, you get better focus and memory, but you also get a more cohesive team, because everyone's thoughts, words, and actions start to line up. And get this, it can even help bridge those communication gaps between generations, apparently, by getting everyone on the same mental wavelength. Plus, you get practical things, like less stress, and even the ability to learn new technical skills or languages way faster. So this all leads us to the final and maybe the most important question. After seeing the problem, the solution, and the incredible results, is your team's operating system ready for an upgrade? And just to be super clear, this isn't some experimental concept. This system has been globally validated. It's been applied in more than 60 different industries. We're talking engineering, medical, government, tech, you name it. It's a proven framework that works in all sorts of professional environments. So we'll just leave you with this one last thought. In a world that is completely obsessed with upgrading technology, maybe the most powerful upgrade of all is the one we've been overlooking. Your technology gets upgraded all the time. When was the last time you upgraded your team's core operating system?